good because I like all of their players individually. When you list them off, like there's nothing wrong with any of their players individually. I even actually respect Golden Glue. I played with him before, and I've always actually felt like he's fine. But they might not have like the right mix of like communicators or like personality types, and I think that can hinder a team a lot. Just as I said with how for us we're like a mostly very quiet team, and like we're pretty reserved. That in it, that's like a problem that we have to deal with, and I feel like TL I don't know what it is because I don't have any like insight into their environment, but it's probably a similar thing where their players just can't like work together to hit their ceilings.
Well, welcome back to week 2 of the North American LCS Summer Split. Before we head onto the Rift for Game 2, make sure that you're calling out your favorite moments from the weekend. Tweet at us at LOL Esports and use the hashtag NALCS, and we'll pick the best of the best to share later in the show.
Mine was when I got to cast with Pastry Time.
Hey, it's been a good weekend so far. But now, let's return to the match at hand. And round 2 between Team Liquid and Team Dignitas. First things first, player of the game actually over to Shrimp for really setting up the early game and being the only early game for us.
Exactly. I mean, we had a little bit of a difficult time with this one because it was so much of a team victory and there was a lot of, getting objectives for the team. But for me, one of the biggest ways that there was a possibility of Team Liquid winning with that composition was early game. If they could get the Rengar and Talia roaming and kind of snowball off that. But Shrimp, early invades, he had successful level 3 First Blood. And then he went back into the jungle even after it got turned around on him and killed Rainover immediately after. So I just thought that he had a really good game plan and delivered what the team needed from him in that game.
And a lot of his parts have seemed quite aggressive, but very effective. So been looking forward to seeing Shrimp. We have to credit someday, of course, so he was kind of the linchpin of that strategy on the Fiora. He's done great on Fiora so far. I mean, those damage numbers aren't insane, but KDA is looking good. He's 3-0 so far on it, undefeated. Yes, a small number of games, but he's just going to keep winning on this champion.
Yeah, Fiora, as well as the other split pushers that we did mention earlier too. So even if you do ban it out, there's still more options for Team Dignitas to try a similar strategy. I'm very curious to see that iteration though. I want to see Team Liquid, ban it or pick a counter here to try and force a little bit more so that we get to know more of the story here for the next kind of steps that they'll have to take. Because I got to be honest, I love seeing Someday on Fiora, and he absolutely crushes people, but it seems like the same story over and over when he gets the champion.
Yeah, I mean, the blueprint for how Dig win games when they have Fiora on a split pusher seems like pretty well prepared for them, honestly. Like, we could see again how well they're playing around the map. They kind of understand that, okay, somebody's going to get ahead, and we can kind of just move around that. But the entire team movement looked good that game. Someday, it seems very well set up in every single game to really succeed. And for me, on the Liquid side, kind of looking at that last game, they pressured bot lane, which I get. They love to snowball Piglet and get him going, and he was on Caitlyn, which will scale wonderfully as the game goes on. But, like, Lolo just got abandoned in top lane, and what happens when you leave a Gragas versus Fiora in a matchup? Well, it goes up about 20 CS, and then that number snowballs and snowballs until it just feels already untenable. Like, if you're going to give him a split pusher and try and beat it, I think you have to attack it a little earlier.
So it was interesting to me hearing the video there from Laud as well, because a lot of people have been trying to come up with, the reasons for the failures of Team Liquid over the last couple of splits, right? And it's difficult, as he said, because we can't listen to their communications and don't know exactly what's going on in there. And also, like he said, the individual players, all have some good strengths there. It does look like they have a problem with timing and focus for Team Liquid's side, because it looks like, some strengths are drafted to, and they played them a little bit in game, but once some mistakes come up or once something changes, something unexpected happens, like Cop takes a seat on your lap there. I guess that's not unexpected, totally fine with it. They seem to have a problem, either reacting to it or getting back to their game plan, and then the focus as far as actually pulling off those plays.
My favorite part is he's staring straight at the other team, of course, because he's sitting next to each other.
Yeah, he's like, what?
So,
what?
Yeah, some sort of mental game there for Cop. I mean,
this is my coach.
Got a lot going on there. And then again, I mean, you can see Dig. I mean, all smiles. It makes sense. They're on the cusp of being undefeated after 2 weeks of play. They've had a great weekend. I mean, you have to think wind in their sails after beating TSM yesterday.
Yeah. Also, Cop to me has always been this coach that's very, very aligned with his players because he was a professional player for a long time, basically all of League of Legends. If people haven't, followed or remember David Cop Robertson. He played AD carry for Curse way back in the days before LCS even existed. This guy was, a professional player, and he dealt with a lot of different styles of coaches. Back when coaching was almost unheard of in League of Legends, and we kind of just had 5 people just doing whatever they wanted in scrims every once in a while. He had to deal with a lot of different styles of them, and he's kind of come up with his style of being, super relatable, and he definitely values the relationships of not only him and to the players, but also the players to each other very highly. And I think that does, go a long way as far as the team morale and setting up for things like the communication they're talking about being their big focus over the last, several months for all of them. And it seems to be paying off decently now.
Yep, and we've seen kind of that success story for a lot of different coaches. I mean, I think about Reapit for Cloud9, very similar, was a former pro player also, although his career, I think, might have even been shorter than Cobb's pro career, which is kind of funny to think about. We'll reset those. Liquid and Dignitas are back into Champ Select for game number 2. Liquid on the blue side, we'll see if they have anything different prepared. Dignitas kind of forced to ban Zach. It's been one of the mainstays. Sadly, its 100% presence has dropped somehow, but pretty much every single game.
It went through unpicked?
It might have.
And unbanned? I don't believe it.
Maybe not, but there was
lying to my face.
There was definitely a point. Well, at some point we thought it was going to get 100% banned the entire time it was available.
I still do. I still think it has, man.
It got through a game. I saw it. It killed people.
You're going to have to show me some proof, boy.
Well, there's Kennen and Fiora now banned for Liquid, so they're the adjustments we kind of expected. Galio Zaya joining that Zach.
Just kidding. I will default to trust. I believe you.
Maybe you shouldn't.
100% has been broken here
honest.
in the North American LCS.
We'll see what Liquid have in store for their first pick here. All right, at least makes sense. I was going to say maybe they get fancy and steal away the Lucian, but we'll stick to the script and take away the strong jungle left open.
I do like it. Reignover, one of his most scary champions to me has always been the Elise, even though he loved playing the Olaf and he loved playing the Rek'Sai for the longest times. I always really did enjoy watching his Elise. Even back when he was on Immortals, and he had some really good synergy as far as getting off those early ganks as well. So I'm very curious to see how this one develops, and Spider is on the other side nowadays, so see if the early game goes the other way.
Well, Gragas and Ashwood digs pick, says Caitlyn again for Piglet. We'll see if Matt wants to mix it up on the support side at all. Answer is no, at least for this game, as Karma is going to be back in his pocket. And
This is actually pretty funny.
Yeah,
we were
it's
casting the other one yesterday, and we're like, oh, okay, it's just Zaya Rakan every single game into Caitlyn Karma every single game. We saw the same duo lane 3 times in a row. Finally, it took 3 games, I guess, to change the minds of either the coaching staff or the players or both. But Team Liquid have adopted it. They've joined the hard-pushing, lane control, super long-range combo.
We were driving away from last comp from having Envy's come that they won both games with. So maybe it's on the table. The Zyra pick for Dig, though, as their final pick in phase 1. LeBlanc will get banned. Going to take that one away from Golden Glue. A man that put a lot of practice once she got those pretty major changes a few months ago.
Yeah, definitely true. And the Ashe Zyra, I always like seeing that combo. For many years, ever since Sneaky and Lemonation were playing together and utilized it internationally. Definitely a classic, as you say. And we'll see if they can actually get that harassment off, because there is kill pressure there. And that's one of the differences between Caitlyn Karma and Ashe Zyra that I actually like. It makes it more exciting. There's a lot more threat for bursting someone, rather than Caitlyn Karma kind of gets their advantages slowly over time.
Well, Shen actually banned for Dig, so trying to target a few of the top laners here. So curious where the Gragas is going. Someday could play it. He has also played tanks. It's kind of important to remind the audience that he isn't just playing Fiora, Lucian, Cannon all the time.
Definitely true, especially when he just joined the team and they were starting out. Their first split, his Maokai games were some of their best, where he was just absolutely unstoppable front line, constantly getting good engages and good teleports. So maybe we get to see some of his other skills showcased if he's on a tank. Then it's all about the team play, the timing of his initiations, and his teleports, which also are very good, but not going to be the case.
Not today, at least. There's Renekton, actually. So Sunday going to take the more aggressive pick. Shrimp will still have a playmaker for himself, but much tankier coming out of the jungle versus something like the Elise. Jace was actually the other ban for Liquid, so targeting a solo lane there with that final one. And there's the Taliyah. Give me Jarvan. Come on, take him. He's come.
Yeah, and again, the Talia 4 Golden Glue, we talked about it a little bit last game, but I really liked, he put a lot of time into the champion, and it was one of his big takeaways from Korea and his time training over there. But I have to say, speaking of Korea, and training and specific champions, every time I see Someday and the Renekton pick come through, I gotta mention, the history of this guy on Renekton in Korea and the success that he had there was definitely one of the biggest champions for him. So always excited to see him take it up again.
Certainly looking good. It's actually Rumble the last pick there for Liquid, so Lolo definitely a champion he's comfy on. Keen will actually take the Orianna again, so despite it being not the best matchup for Ori, Keen happy with how the 1v1 went, and of course the power of the champion is more than enough to take a more reasonable matchup, even if it's a little bit bad.
Yeah, plus it also gives you so much team fight presence. It really does balance out your 5-on-5. There's a lot of crowd control here from both the front line of Team Dignitas as well as the bottom lane. So a lot of options for initiation.
Well, looks like comps are set now for Dig and Liquid. Kind of fun to see Dignitas again, pretty much assembling a similar comp. Someday we'll have to be more involved in the team play as the rest of the games move on. But Renekton's still something he can bully on. Kind of curious to see how the Rumble matchup goes. It's been a little while since we've seen, I think, these two champions 1v1 each other.
Yeah, again, I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out, but it is important, and every time we have to mention how important the junglers are in turning those matchups because they are so close. Almost all Rumble matches are kind of like that, where he has the early shove with the Flame Spitter, but you have to worry about junglers coming to gank you or coming to push you off of that shove. So it's interesting to see how junglers will route around that, trying to kind of counter jungle on the top side sometimes or get early wards down to find ways of dissuading the other jungler to interrupt it. Renekton right now definitely is strong, and sometimes he'll even go for the early Hex Drinker in that matchup, in which case he can get his own bullying done.
Well, it's certainly been great to see Someday grow so much as a player in the NALCS. Was amazing when he moved here back in spring this year. Definitely could kind of struggle integrating into the team, but a lot of Dignitas' success can be attributed to how they've all come together as a unit, and unsurprisingly, the crown jewel of their team is still Someday. Not to discredit his teammates, they're also great as well, but he's finally starting to flourish, and I think the environment they've built is a reason why. So we'll see if they can continue parlaying that into a lead here and go undefeated for the weekend, actually remain undefeated for the season, or if Liquid are going to make something fancy happen with the level 1.
Well, they want to kill the Zyra, who wants to get seed spawning further into the lane. This is another thing that I feel like we always mention, but it is the case, and that's why we often see these bottom lane heavy level 1s for teams that are playing against Zyra. It's super common knowledge, though, so all the teams with the Zyra have kind of stopped doing that, and they don't play it risky, don't extend too far in that lane.
Yeah, Big's actually already bailed. So kind of mission accomplished as far as making sure there are no seeds in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we say it every single time, I can't remember the last time we saw it be successful, just because all the teams are so aware of it, of the tendency to go for that, and they actually take that opportunity. They do get the Raptor ward of their own for Team Dignitas, so a little bit of extra vision for them, kind of in payment for attempting to get that 5-man kind of cheesy early kill.
Yep, Shrimp and Someday also guarding the Raptors. Looks like Someday will be assisting. Maybe Kane's even going to move over there as well. Golden Glue once again will help reign over with the Raptors. Talia has excellent assists. Wants to make sure not to take any. See that a few times. But Rainova going to be nice and comfy. Going to take these all down nice and quickly.
It's funny because every time I'm like, oh no, someone took it accidentally. The laners all come out and they're like, oh no, it's really worth it for the laner to take one because then you get your level 2 early on that wave. And as a jungler, it just kills me inside. Like, no. That's not worth it.
I mean, look, I
took mine.
I can buy that for a champion like Talon. I probably can't buy it for Talia.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in a matchup where you want to abuse the early level 2, you have a possibility maybe of going for an early kill, then yeah, okay. Or if it's top lane, sometimes I can definitely see it more for top lane because it's a longer lane and you can zone people out a lot earlier. You can go for kills, chase down kills in double melee matchups. But if it's 2 control mages standing far back, better not be taking my Raptor, boy.
Well, there's the PSA for the day. As Lolo actually getting the early damage down onto Someday. He's trying to trade pretty aggressively there, but Rumble's early power has been a constant for him pretty much since he's entering the league. And Raider, great Kakumba. It does force the flash. Golden Glue actually getting a shove just under his feet. Raider even returns nice damage as well.
Yeah, so I like it because there's two opinions here with Elise ganks. One is you shoot the cocoon max range as early as possible because they haven't seen you yet, and you think Golden Glue, or Keen in this case, is focusing on the CS, right? And that's often actually does pay off for especially the worst players you're playing against. You can shoot that cocoon, and he'll be focused on taking a CS, and he'll be standing there in auto attack animation and not dodge your long range cocoon. The other is that you run at them and just use your auto attack to get a red buff slowed down. We'll see which one he goes for here.
Someday. Oh, actually does juke the cocoon. Rainover very early, trying to predict something there, I think.
Yeah, he is definitely following that school of thought of the early cocoon shooting. But yeah, like we said, the other option is you have red buff, walk up with her auto attack animations. Sometimes people even get freaked out by that and use their dodge early, which makes it easier, and then sometimes you can get the summoner out. But regardless, a couple of early visits from Rainover, and one summoner blown in the mid lane for Keen. No flash for him.
Yeah, Shrimp actually hanging out towards that top side, but Rainover's already back farming the jungle. Doesn't cost him too much to really go for those ganks. They were pretty much sitting in his regular jungle path anyway, so nice little bit of happenstance there for Rainover, but no real success, unfortunately, for him with only the one sum. Back in the bottom lane, though, Piglet and Matt. It's kind of what we expect in most Caitlyn lanes, but just shoving early against Lord and Big.
Interesting lane gank here from Shrimp. Now, technically, he could expect a return gank from Elise, but it looks like he wants to set something up and go offensive instead.
Forcing here, Someday just aggressively trading until Lola wins the trade pretty much. Shrimp's there to make it uneven if Lola overextends. Oh, now he spotted Shrimp.
Flash?
A little too far forward on vision.
Awkward.
Yeah, very.
It looks like they couldn't really decide between, oh, I want to push it up so I can sneak into the brush, or are we going to use flashes? And everybody flash on him to try and get it. But nothing works out there, and Shrimp uses up a bit of time, also gives away his position for the time being.
Oh, hello, Golden Glue and Rainover actually early visiting the bottom lane. Lotto, he gets stunned there. It's going to be the shove, and first blood deserved over to Golden Glue. Big might even be the next one. Dead. Rainover gets it, repels out of the way. Teal with a perfect dive.
And that's the problem with giving away your position on top side. Again, mid and jungle synergy is one of the main things that we're looking for coming into this matchup. Rainover plus Golden Glue both roam to the bottom. They use the pushing lane of the Caitlyn Karma, which you can almost always, guarantee here. And Dignitas, they realized it a little bit too late. That's one of the cases where it's too late to ward. So even if I see them coming, I'm in range and I'm dead.
Yep, it's actually even worse, I think, at that point. Rainover finally finds a nice successful gank with a bit of help from Golden Glue. Well played by Piglet also to make sure they cleaned up both kills. And now a BF Sword returning Caitlyn with a 15 CS lead. Piglet well set up to succeed in the early game.
Yeah, that is a very similar thing to what we kind of expected to come out in the last game. And with such similar champions, and even actually better champions at diving this time around for Team Liquid, they're very happy to be able to get that early playoff. Now they have some gold to work with here, and they can transition into the mid game without being so heavily on the back foot. And this will be interesting to see if they can actually get it off the ground.
Someday again backing onto Lola, trying to win that trade. Flames bit a wrong angle for that stun. Lola wasn't able to pivot around in time. Someday also 6, so it feels like he can tank a little bit more, but can't be too crazy in these trades.
Yeah, he is going for the early Hex Drinker, but not completed yet, so there's a big value when you actually get that completion and get the early shield.
Ooh, Someday clearing a war. Yeah, I think he knows what's up, but a great ult from Lola. He might start it all off. Someday still has his flash, and Rainover is really late to get hit. Couldn't quite get up in time, but maybe they look for a dive. In fact, Golden Glue's here. That looks like exactly what they want.
Yeah, and they're going to corner him. He has ultimate, but it's going to be pretty rough to get out of this one. Let's see how Someday does it.
Knows he has to clear the minions. Golden Glue still with ultimate. Someday just going to move through it all. Rainover goes back down, looking for another kill and grabs it.
Oh, that was really nice, actually. Golden Glue goes in to take tower aggro for a second, just because Rainover was so deep and had already used repel. He didn't want to take tower aggro back, so kind of nice there for Golden Glue, and he uses the heal to boot. Really good roaming thus far here from the Taliyah in game number 2. So much more aggressive look from him, and it is paying off as far as team pressure and map advantage. Yes, he is going to take a CS deficit here, and people are going to look at the numbers like, oh, Golden Glue got smashed in lane, but these multiple roams are getting off, and his roams are not only the first gold for the kill, but also the first turret gold.
Yep, actually going to get himself some gold. I suppose it is up overall in total gold versus Keen because of that global team gold you get. Golden Glue, again, kind of struggling right now as he's getting pushed in, but 15 CS behind, should be able to catch up pretty quickly and still has his ulti if Liquid want to make another play. Lolo set up really nicely, and that's kind of, I think, step one for me when playing against Dignitas is try and shut down Someday at least early on.
Well,
don't make him too comfy.
He's gotten to his Hex Drinker now, but it's a little bit too late because the turret is already gone. A blue handoff here from Shrimp over to Keen, and they do have some vision in the bottom quadrant of the map here, in the red quadrant, as well as leading up to the Drake. So Team Dignitas have sacrificed a lot on the top side, and that's kind of up to Team Liquid to see if they can bring some of that advantage from the top side to keep this snowball going. And you know, maybe get a Drake on the early side. Sometimes when you're looking at the Drakes, it's really important to get the next spawn of the Drake activated early if you're snowballing like this, so you can gain, you know, more advantages than just the single Ocean Drake. But you're also kind of thinking about quicker I kill this one, quicker we can get the next one, and you know, maybe that one will be Mountain or Infernal.
Well, Golden Glue gets blue buff for himself as Lolo briefly covers his lane. Wave's coming back top, so he's going to go visit there. Golden Glue's roaming back down to the bottom side now, so maybe setting up on bot, but I think more like you were talking about, making sure they set up vision for that Drake.
Yeah, and they are able to clear out a lot of the Team Dignitas vision. The other thing with Ocean Drakes this early in the game, they're so good for all of your laners. I mean, your junglers love it because you know, they don't get into combat with champions in the jungle, so you're almost permanently regenerating. But the laners as well. Golden Glue wants to shove the wave and then go for a roam. If he does that, then he gets a lot of regeneration off the Ocean Drake. So definitely all good things in the opening of game number 2 here for Team Liquid, trying to strike back.
Oh, Someday, though, getting aggressive on the Lolo does chunk him down well, but feels like at this point, if the top lanes are trading this much, there's such good vision for TL, really should be leaping onto this Drake.
Yeah, I mean, if you toggle Fog of War for Team Liquid's perspective right now, they've got the whole map lit up. That's why they pinged out Shrimp already. They know he's on the bottom side, and they're already bringing Rain over here.
Oh, Piglet's nailed there. There's the Stranglethorns up to the root. Shrimp does manage to get the CC in, and Big able to get that kill now. Rain over. Arriving a little late, Shrimp there first on that play, and a great combo from Diggs. Man gonna try and get them a second kill. Flash forward from Lord, does get the kill onto Rainover, and now Matt tagged by the next slow. Dig might even die for this next one.
I believe if you go back, rewind, and look at the setup to this play, there were multiple pings from Team Liquid on Shrimp heading down there. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure they pinged him out while he went through all these wards through the jungle. Regardless, though, even if they knew he was there, no dodges on the Ash Arrow in time, and Team Dignitas take the initiative, strike back on the bottom side of the map, get a kill and a lot of damage on the turret. But here comes Golden Glue.
Might be an overreach, slow plus the root there as Ali ultis out from all of his TP down. Golden Glue cuts them all off with the wall, and they need to try and get as many kills as possible. Big low, but he's not dead as Someday's come down also. Piglet finally rejoins, but Keen's here as well. TL just get nothing off that play.
They do answer teleports and push the wave back. They deny one turret kill for Team Dignitas, and it looks like they're going to get another kill of their own on a turret.
All right, nothing turned into something here. Tara is going to go down on the Dignitas side. Liquid able to get that goal for themselves, but see what happens on this next Drake. Looks like TL are actually going to get it. So despite kind of fumbling the bottom engage and Dignitas setting up a nice play, looks like the overall map lead on this right-hand side will go over to TL. So perhaps Dignitas overreaching with their own teleport there.
Yeah, the roam pressure of Golden Glue has been key for Team Liquid this game. All right, so here it is. This is Shrimp coming through for the lane gank, and the arrow is fired from the brush into a flash from Big. An instant ultimate, so that is just really good execution. And we kind of talked about, you know, both focus as well as communication. They really pulled that play off, chaining those CCs extremely well. And they fire their skills from the Fog of War, so there's very little time to react, and it's definitely a good initial play. As you said, though, the overstay and not respecting, again, the mobility of Taliyah, as well as the lead that Team Liquid had already built up, does end up costing Team Dignitas again.
Yeah, and I'm kind of sensing a small theme emerging in Team Liquid games, at least in strong early games where I've seen them look good this weekend. Rainover and Golden Glue really building some nice synergy. We saw Rainover visit that lane early, just help with a little bit of pressure, and that could have converted even better if he'd hit that cocoon, which, you know, isn't really a big thing for Rainover. He didn't miss or anything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the roaming play, the mobility afforded to buy a champion like Taliyah. We saw the Galio yesterday do the same thing with Rainover's Olaf. Like, there's a lot of good inbuilt synergy between the two champion pairs they've played already and being able to look good and convert into wins. So it's a small thing, but that's the kind of thing Liquid can look to and try and build on.
Exactly. Definitely necessary for them. And this game, as you said, this is one of those early games where you're like, okay, they're setting themselves very nicely up for a mid game here. You know, they have 2 turret lead, so they can start pressing in their wards. They can start getting that vision down to take away the you know, comeback possibilities for Team Dignitas, because those rely on, as we saw demonstrated in the bottom lane, firing Ash Arrow from Fog of War gives you a very high chance of getting a pick on somebody. If Team Liquid are able to get that deep vision in, it makes it much more difficult for Laud to get those arrows off, or at least even hit his targets. Right now, Rift Herald is the next objective here.
Oof.
There you go. Vision in the red quadrant. They saw the arrow coming, so easy dodge. Oh, I love it when they're able to explain the point visually for us.
Very nice there. Rainover is rewarded with the Rift Herald himself, the Eye of the Herald. So TL take the next objective, can look to shove down likely the 3rd outer turret with it.
Everything's just coming up Team Liquid here in this game.
Golden Glue also ready again with another ulti.
Ash's top lane too. I mean, it's kind of a perfect scenario. Team Liquid just were wishing Dignitas would press on this turret. And they were, please come siege this turret up without your AD carry. But Team Dignitas do back off, and they're not going to commit to it.
Well, the summoning is complete for Rainover. Rift Herald's out, and this mid-outer turret should be dying real swiftly.
Yeah, they're bringing all 5 members, and Ash is still top lane. Plus, they know the arrow is down, but the shockwave
nice
isn't.
Shockwave 1-2 from Kane. Does juke out of the way of the Herald too, but it's still hitting on his turret. Matt gets chunked, so does Rainover, but Golden Glue's going to cut him off. Actually moves Keen back in towards the team. Lolo in the front, but King with no ultimate left. They're going to try and take it out, but Big does get it through. Oh, Golden Glue barely not able to get out of the ulti, and Big able to clip that one, and Shrimp gets credit for the kill, but Lolo counter-attack. So does Liquid, and there's 2 kills as Piglet grabs the one onto Big. Someday has moved his way over, but TL still going.
Nice equalizer there, and Golden Glue sets it up there with the Taliyah ultimate. Even though he dies by going for that kill onto Keen, Team Liquid, it was kind of a necessary sacrifice for them, and now they've got Someday a little bit extended. No minions left, though.
No minions, yeah. Rift Herald dying feels bad for Liquid. Might wait for a wave, but it's so far behind that I think they might consider resetting instead. Piglet has turned on the recall, so TL think maybe we can get that next time. But, I mean, the play almost set up perfectly here. Just a few missteps here and there, and we'll watch how it starts.
Yeah, and there are a couple steps here where you get worried for Team Liquid, because Keen shockwave onto the back line there, gets Matt and Rainover super low. However, Golden Glue's not done here. He's like, okay, Keen's still half-life, his ultimate's down, I'm gonna go in for this kill. So he commits to it, even though he gets locked up by Big, and he ends up dying there. Rainover lands a crucial cocoon onto Laud, setting up Lorlo's equalizer there, and they do get a pretty big advantage off it, even though they don't finally knock down the turret. It's so low that they can just kind of return to this mid lane and claim that money pretty soon.
Yeah, it feels like they'll be expecting to get it in good time. Oh, Keen and Laud, I actually love this setup. Probably looking for Piglet. There's the arrow. That one misses.
And just kind of keeps on walking forward and able to dodge that. But again, same idea. On the control ward, trying to hit him with the Ash Arrow for the initiation. Shrimp is ready with the Gragas ultimate, so if that arrow hits, Piglet's suddenly into the enemy team. And Team Dignitas mount their comeback, right? Golden Glue, though, back out to the sidelines. Again, the 1-3-1 plan here from Team Liquid is Taliyah mostly just shoving minions.
Ooh.
And focusing on those objectives rather than looking to 1v1 anybody.
It's an excellent wall from Golden Glue, but unfortunately he's not going to get enough out of it. Laud, no arrow, though. So
also, Big as mobility boots. Okay, not going to chase him down. I was getting a little worried there.
Laud instead is going to clean that wave, and looks like Golden Glue just buying time for Liquid in the mid lane. Turret does fall. 3 turrets to nothing now for TL, despite how low the bot adder is. King with another good shockwave. The root lands in onto Rainover. Stranglethorns tags Matt. But no kill forthcoming. Somebody also TP'd in, so he's looking for the long flank around. Piglet looks to be in trouble and needs to go and go for a good clutch, so Matt, though, looks going to die. He's going to die in the collateral. Shrimp able to pick that up now. Lola getting stunned up by Someday. So he's going to run him down with the ultimate ticking away. Someday once more is going to try and find the juicy targets, but TL are kiting well. Golden Glue's joined back in, but he's actually going to get snared up again by the duo lane of Dignitas. Lives through the onslaught, though, and it's just the one kill. Matt goes down, but TL got the turret.
Yeah, 4 flashes there on the side of Team Dignitas. They do end up getting that kill, and both summoners off of Piglet. So a bit of a counterpunch, and they definitely do need to start making those plays to get back into the game. Shrimp wants this red buff, though.
Drake up also, but Dig don't have health bars to try and contest for it. Snipe fight. Shrimp wins.
Yep, charge up that percentage damage on the W for Gragas. Really good combo there. It's easy to time that because it's an auto attack landing at the same time that you smite, so good job by him. Another look at that shockwave, though, and it was a good shockwave by Keen. Decent amount of damage given back by Team Liquid, and did Lot end up surviving that? Yeah, he got all the way to the turret. Someday, though, he was really looking for Piglet on his flash in. Good flash there for Piglet to get out on the back side, and then they kind of are able to kite it out and deal enough damage to the front line that Team Dignitas has to back off here and don't chase down any extra kills.
Well, did make it back to the fight, but not enough to get any kills for himself. Cloud Drake over to Liquid. Arrow lands in onto Lolo on the top side, though. Drake over there, but looks like going to be a kill. Stranglethorn's not there, but Big just roots him up instead. Lod getting himself a second kill. Nice collapse there, but Dig, but TL now on the bottom side trying to shove the tier 2.
Yeah, and Cloud Drake is going to allow them to keep pressuring multiple points here. The extra speed on top of a Taliyah team. Ooh. Very mobile.
Shoved back in. Shrimp actually tried to body slam, but still got shoved back.
Yeah, he has a lot of magic resist. He is just stacking pure magic resist on the Gragas. So even though his health bar doesn't look that big, huge amounts of resistances for the Elise and the Taliyah specifically, which were the main DPS there.
Blue buff to Shrimp, actually, as TL try and contest it. So mostly successful on that steal. Making sure it stays away from Keen, who is building up towards his next major item. You can see Keen is landing some nice shockwaves, but needs a bit more AP to really take down these carries. Golden Glue on the other side. Haunting Guides is now finished with the Sork Shoes. So this is kind of one of the major jumping off points we've seen for almost every mid lane major. I mean, at this point, Golden Glue's dishing out damage. It's nice to see Liquid using that 1-3-1 pressure continually and getting almost completely rewarded with turrets.
Yeah, still kind of nursing this 2,000 gold lead, but while the gold lead hasn't increased a whole bunch for Team Liquid, they have been able to add the Drakes. So unfortunately for them, they aren't the most powerful ones, but definitely useful ones in this game. And Team Dignitas definitely they're not really in panic mode yet. It's only a couple thousand gold, and a couple Drakes have gone over. They still have Ash arrows to catch people out, and they still have that strong team fight that we mentioned. The combos are readily available, and with Keen landing shockwaves, like you said, when he gets more power behind the shockwaves, Team Dignitas still with a decent opportunity to come back in this game and try and end this series early. Team Liquid putting their best foot forward and pushing it to game number 3, though.
Well, Liquid's certainly looking good. This split, as we described, has been rough for them. This is actually the second time they've ever been ahead in gold at 20 minutes. Just this split. So the summer, again, a bit unkind to Liquid, but I mean, these are the building blocks required, and Liquid still looking proactive on the map. Lolo is pushing bottom lane, sweeping out the Baron side vision, and might even just straight up threaten the objective if Dignitas don't dare to check.
Definitely working on that second line of vision, as mentioned. This one behind Baron, so they can start to look for a little bit of bait and a little bit of pick opportunity around that Baron. Taliyah always makes you a little antsy when you're heading through the jungle, because you never quite know if you're gonna get walled off, and Elise is there to try and get a pick on you. It's a good way for Team Liquid to add a bit of pressure onto Team Dignitas. It's always nice, though, for the team that's behind to have Ashe, and you get to fire off hawk shots every once in a while, so you don't have to 100% rely on your Scryer's blue orbs.
Lot actually going to check. All right, not doing it yet. Didn't spot Golden Glue, though. Scotto gets taken down by TL. And
far side totems.
That's what they
The blooms are the plants, obviously, but I thought the orbs might get in there. Maybe we'll have a 5-on-5, actually, confrontation, because Golden Glue keeps on roaming back to the top side, pressuring this turret pretty well, then slipping into the fog of war on the red quadrant. But there's more than just him.
Aaron misses again, actually tried to find Golden Glue on the top side. Matt may be caught by Someday. Shreef does get the body slam flash. There's the takedown. Someday able to get him. Golden Glue, though, trying to exit quickly as possible. Surfs away.
With all the control and all the vision being set up here, Team Liquid still too spread out that Dignitas just ram straight ahead. You know, there's like, we see a hero, we're going to charge right at him. And, you know, the reaction here is scramble from Team Liquid, and they start to give over more gold. While they did have a really good opening to this game, you have to worry about kills like that kind of continually being fed over, and if that gold lead starts to diminish, and it becomes very worrisome.
Yeah,
Golden Glue, though.
Setting a trap. Lil needs to step a little further forward.
How many Taliyah versus AD carry 1v1s have we seen
a
in the
lot.
last 2 weeks?
Taliyah has lost all of them. Oh, maybe not this one. Let's get the first knockup. TP's in. Maybe not a 1v1 lot. Still dancing around, actually. Golden Glue might not even get it on his own some days here. But Golden Glue, oh no, Lola over to take down Lot. This isn't fair at all. As Golden Glue still cutting away. No one deals damage, and he's able to escape.
Nobody knocks him off the wall, and Golden Glue gets out with his life. Plus, they had the push in mid during that. Definitely a big damage on it. Almost able to finish. Nope. Pretty close, though. All right, how will they use the 5v4? They can just return to this pressure. They have Piglet on Caitlyn. Long range, they should be able to knock it down.
Oh, TPing up towards Someday, actually. Did burn him down. No ultimate for Lol, they must have used it earlier, but turret is going to fall in mid, so successful escape there for Golden Glue with Lolo TPing up there to help, despite all the effort of Dig to try and take him down. Doesn't manage to escape, and Liquid gets some benefit from it.
Score 1 for Taliyah. I want to actually check the scoreboard of the 1v1s we've had, because there have been so many Taliyah versus AD carry. And I think you're right, like, leading up to this, the AD carries were actually winning it.
I mean, it makes sense, like, Taliyah seems like a sustained DPS champion, but she kind of isn't really.
I mean, she relies 100% on skill shots, so definitely outplay potential there. Ashe, though, doesn't have as much mobility as you know, the other AD carries.
Yeah. It's tough with warlords, people with Phantom Dancer, flashing out of your Qs. And the reality is, like, it's not Cassio, we can just keep spamming E on them. You have to, like, eventually you have to stop throwing 5 Qs, you only get to throw 1, so I'm not too surprised, but it's certainly funny to watch Taliyah just consistently lose duels.
I still think that Shrimp probably, if you had body slammed early, would have been able to cut off that escape and maybe even it up, but that's too bad. Weren't able to get it, and Golden Glue has his escape.
Yep, sad days, but Liquid still feeling good. Almost up 3,000 gold, and kind of slowly pushing things forward for themselves. Dignitas, though, plenty of opportunities to really open the game up. Just one key fight could make it happen. But now Dignitas, TL, going aggressive. Good repel out from Reino. Fate so many ultis out. Another cutter from Lola with the equalizer. Golden Glue gonna add the wall on top of it, but Dig running at 4 strong. Someday not spotted. Ooh, Piglet, yep, shoots him instead. But no chase forthcoming.
Man, I really like that Rain overplay. I mean, flashing forward for the Cocoon into an instant repel and baiting those 2 ultimates, like you said. Very nice display by him of quick reaction speed, even though he was unable to land his flash Cocoon because Big also flashed.
You can see it does get them an objective also. Drake now taken for TL. That says second Cloud Drake, so the 1-3-1 is going to make it so they're even faster around the map. Good word from Matt. Does spot out the potential trap set by Dignitas. And again, we'll reset things. It looks like Infernal Drake's finally on the way. Found him from yesterday. Was invading the B stream constantly. See if the teams want to fight over it now. And Dig, again, they are behind, but it just feels like they're playing very calmly, kind of knowing the situation and trying not to make too big of a mistake. In fact, maybe now an opportunity, but just going to take the vision around the Baron. No need to start it.
And remember, the gold swing could be very quick here because the 2 turrets on the outer sides for Dignitas are very low. Or, I mean, they're technically Team Liquid turrets, but they're Team Dignitas's to take.
Yep.
And those would even up the gold pretty quickly if Team Dignitas are able to win a team fight and pressure down some of those side turrets. As of right now, they're 0 to 4 in turrets, and that's where the entire gold lead is coming from.
I like this from Dig, just being like, yep, not walking anywhere near that side of the rush. Nice Aldo could start things off. Lawler really getting it done big. Almost low already. Lawler flashes in and is able to take him down. Does have a zone. He's going to bait some few things out as Golden Glue's come around for the flame. Piglet takes down Lot Team Liquid. Beautiful initiation. And Piglet's even grabbed a third kill. Keen is down someday. Next on the menu, Cuckoo from Rain Over Land. And there's the triple kill for the Caitlyn.
And that should be the Baron for them. What a team fight. Rainover and Lorlo are able to both immune the shockwave this time. Lorlo goes Zonia's, Rainover repels up into the air, and again, big ultimates are being outplayed on the side of Team Liquid, and they actually earn themselves a Baron here 28 minutes into the game, unless Rainover dies to it. Oh, that's too bad.
Well, they should still get it. They do manage to take it. Not sure how Rainover got himself killed.
Well, he stayed in melee range.
Oh, turret goes down as well. It's all right. A little bit sloppy for Team Liquid, but they get what they came for. Objective is theirs.
He had his hands up. He was celebrating and cheering. Woo, we did it!
Can't be AFKing during crucial moments.
It doesn't matter. 4 Baron buffs is good enough. Team Rainover will probably be with the rest of the squad, so it actually shouldn't matter at all, but it's a little bit funny when looking at it. Again, look at the ultimates, though. The equalizer there from Lorlo, then the chase over. They both immune the shockwave, and after that, like, so much of the initiative went over to Team Liquid. They got a lot of damage done first, that by immuning the, big ultis there, able to really take hold of this. 4 for 0. What a one-sided fight that was.
Yep, it's really well set up by all of Liquid, and now off about 5,500 gold. Piglet with 3 items once again. Kind of Apollo showed us how effective this build was. I know a lot of players are liking these kind of triple energized build, and Piglet's pretty strong. Doesn't even really need the Last Whisper right now, but he'll have it pretty soon. And I certainly learned from a few stray arrows in the early game. Got that QSS very early.
All right, let's see it. Baron buff on Team Liquid. 1-3-1. Pressure these outer turrets and collect a lot of gold, but really the final case comes when the test of inhibitor turrets arises. Are you going to be able to dodge the shockwave, the Ash Arrow, the Zyra ultimate again? Team Liquid, it might not even matter actually that the gold lead has ballooned now. It was kind of staying even around the 2,000 and 3,000 mark for a long time, but after that very big team fight victory, power difference is going to be real.
Yeah, we sort of mentioned that, Dignitas were kind of one big Baron fight away from really flipping the game back over because there was so much gold they could collect. Well, the same was kind of also true for Liquid in a lot of ways, and now that they've gotten the Baron with that team fight and broken the game open, Dignitas are very, very far behind in what feels like the course of only a few minutes. Golden Glue going to go ahead and steal that blue buff away. And now Piglet's actually on split push duty here in the top lane. Rainover's going to join him, and at some point, a turret is going to go down. And if Dignitas misplay the situation, they'll lose even more than that.
Yes, sir. All right, trap set up here to wall off the flank from Shrimp. I like it. And then an actual wall set up to be able to take this turret for free.
Yep, Lode can only take down the melee creeps, and that's not going to be enough. Really nice setup there for TL. Lawler still pressuring bottom side as well. And Piglet just free hitting where he can. No need to be impatient. Knock down the turrets. Good knockback on a Shrimp. Chunks into about 50% health. And TL now continuing to move forward, looking to take down this top inhibitor.
Yeah, that one should go down without a fight here. Again, Talia used very effectively for objectives. Golden Glue in round 2 of his Talia performance today looks very good, sacrificing CS to go for roams early on in the game, using his wall for both objectives as well as team fight walls. Definitely coming up pretty big for them.
I mean, it's funny, I kind of joked about it before, but it's a team with some pretty strong early laners, some good individual players that kind of struggle to get things together on a team level and take over the map. Well, that was Envy earlier on in the year in spring, and look what Envy have brought to the table in the first few weeks of summer. I mean, this comp does bear a lot of resemblance. In fact, one champion different this time around. So, I mean, it is good to see TL kind of finding something that works for them, and then, again, have to keep crediting Rainover and Golden Glue for playing together in the early game, but Lawler has been outstanding on this Rumble.
Yeah. Talk about the teamfight victories. A lot of the DPS is coming from the Rumble, the equalizers. And Infernal Drake, long awaited.
Yep, gonna help out. Lawler's gonna feel significantly powered up. So is Piglet. Running those triple items right now. Drake is TL's. Pressure still there in the top half, so plenty of room around that second Baron, although might try and assault the bottom side of the map as well to really kind of secure that next objective. Or again, if Dignitas kind of put a foot out of line, game will end in short order with how much pressure TL are putting on the map.
Yeah, just giving us a little hint there. They might go for Piglets. No vision around it, but he comes over to a strong side, joining his team. Not going to risk it.
Ball is back as well for Golden Glue. Can set up the angle. You can see him just on the far left of your screen looking to set this one up and might even go for it as this next wave crashes in.
Yeah, I think it will be probably another one to wall off the team so they can get down the turret. As look at the minions on top side. If they can time that wall while the minions on top side crash inside the base and actually start threatening the Nexus turrets. There you go.
Well, not exactly the same angle, but still good enough by the looks of things for Team Liquid. Good Stranglethorn. So, arrow catches Matt. Someday leaps into action. Great off from Gragas, and now 5v4 for Dig.
Yep, they got the Karma off the table, but Karma's not that critical to the team here. So Team Liquid stick around for some extra damage. As we said, that big top wave is now on Nexus turrets, and that was, what, 4 ultimates used to take down Matt. So might not be the end of the world here as Team Liquid can continue the siege.
Yeah, feels like Dig may be learning from their last siege as well, kind of staying further front of the wall to not all get cut off. So TL still assaulting his turret, looking for a few more pot shots onto it. Piglet with a few more bullets. Rapid fire cannon's going to help out. Wave still coming. That is not alive just yet, but he's got a long way to run, even if he is. The Spiderling's actually helping Piglet out, but he didn't get the last hit on the turret. Tried to get the kill instead.
Yeah, Spiderlings don't count for taking out the
but
defenses.
at least they take it.
They'll take some damage, but he wasn't able to finish off until he returns again. And that is going to be that. Team Liquid, another inhibitor is exposed for them to go back to now. Baron is up in 45 seconds. This is going to be it, Pastry. Team Liquid, very good momentum here. A little bit of Baron baiting and finishing up the siege is all that's required to actually finish out this game. Push it to game number 3.
Yep.
You know, they've got 4 of the Drakes to their name. They're about to try and get 2 of the Barons, barring any sort of crazy steal that comes through or Team Dignitas clutch play.
10,000 gold ahead also, so TL have everything at their feet to try and push this to a 3rd and final game. Dignitas looks like they won't be sweeping anyone this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, let's play hard mode and look at it for Team Dignitas. They got to try and look for an opening with an Ash Arrow into a Gragas ultimate, just like they did at that inhibitor. But the ideal target is going to be Piglet, is going to be Golden Glue. You know, one of these DPS members that does not have a Zhonya's like Lorlo does. And does not have a repel like Reignover does.
You know, Kin Shockwave's not even as impactful as he'd like because he's kind of gone much more defensive build here. So, I mean, there are plays here. He's running about flashes in for a play of his own, but the arrow is going to miss from Lord. Wall cuts them all off. They might just force a fight right now. Someday, he's shot behind it. Great off from Lord again as Keen gets chunked up by Piglet. Matt in the front line taking a little too much, but Shrimp is maybe going to be the first target. No, it is Keen. Ace in the hole takes it down as Piglet grabs himself a double. Might make it a 3rd as Lord flashed away as Someday is trying to salvage a team fight. Lord joined up by Golden Glue is going to go down, and Someday does actually shut one down, but Lolo Golden does go down to the Talia. Lord's going to burn down. Oh no, not quite as Lolo. Missing that harpoon. Big does die, but Lolo died as well. It's just Golden Glue and Matt left.
And that fight was so close because Piglet flashes in melee range. He's like, they're all on the run. I got this.
No, Matt looking to go down a lot. A few more. Lord fall. Yes, it. Dig. Almost with the ace. Golden Glue's like, uh-oh, got to try and take this and him down real quickly.
Bit of a bungle there as far as the team fight. But Team Liquid still, Golden Glue is alive. He's going to take care of business, take down one of these inhibitors.
Oh no, that's another Talia ADC 1v1. Lord no mana though. Yeah, it doesn't fancy it. Golden Glue gets away.
All right, Team Dignitas have bought themselves some more time, capitalizing on that mistake, and Someday almost ripped up 3 of them in payment for this. Let's take a look at the Talia wall, setting up the equalizer here again from Lorlo, and he kind of corners Lod in that little pinched zone while getting a lot of damage on Keen as well. Those are the 2 main damage dealers, so it's a very good setup for Team Liquid, and they even take out Keen right at the beginning. But then Piglet flashes right into Lod's face, as well as Someday's, and Someday's not having any of that. Takes him down through the heal, through the Karma Shield, takes down Reignover as well, and almost got Golden Glue.
Maybe a cooldown or two away. Lord also barely lived. Leandri's can't kill you, so a bit of help there. Yep, Shrimp's like, okay, that was a mess.
And he's like, well, I'm dead, I'm done. Good luck, guys.
Just starts pinging targets. Well, Baron actually started. Dignitas trying to make a big run of this play. No play there from Shrimp. Huge ultimate as everyone's trapped in the ultimate. Oh my god! Shockwave combos in after the struggle-thons and Dig almost ace Liquid.
Oh no, Team Liquid had it. They were so close. But Dignitas come up huge mid-game team fight, and then at the Baron, they make their stand. They're gonna claim it as well, Pastry.
Oh no. Heart sinking in the chests of Liquid fans, but Dignitas come up with 2 insane team fights in a row.
Oh my goodness, they get right back out to the field. They know the summoners are down. Shrimp gets a strike here, knocking everybody out, and Keen just cleans them up with the shockwave. Oh my goodness. Whew. Yeah, they are able to straggle away there as Reignover's the one to live, but that does not matter at all.
Just walking straight back to the next major objective. I mean, someday with TP, dealing with the supers in top sides, he lost all of their pressure, really, that they had in the side waves. I mean, bot inhibitors open, but wasn't taken, and now Dig gonna get Elder Dragon as well.
I mean, there are a lot of things to look at, and there's so many things that you can go over, but the thing that stood out to me was that flash forward from Piglet. A little bit of exuberance there, definitely punished heavily by Team Dignitas, and it turns out to actually be a meaningful mistake, as now they are right back out on the field with the Baron buff, lots of turrets to take, lots of gold to clean up for themselves, and again, the team fighting coming through now.
All right, well, Dig are real strong as they look for a seed of their own. Piglet trying to sweep these minions out as soon as possible. Again, still very strong for himself, so shooting them down as fast as he can is a little interesting to see Piglet with a BF sword, because that means Last Whisper is going to be absent. But I guess Someday and Shrimp don't have that much armor.
And he's planning on flashing forward to the backline.
Ah!
A little bit of a troll there, but yeah, you're right. No Last Whisper is coming through, so that means that Someday and Shrimp will have a bit of an easier time surviving. And that's decent because Shrimp, as we said, he was itemizing pure magic resist early, since this is a 4 magic DPS team from Team Liquid. Since then, he's added some armor to his name, but still, this is a very magic resist heavy Team Dignitas squad because of the Team Liquid lineup. They've got 4 heavy magic damage dealers. Most of the tankiness is oriented towards defending magic damage.
Reminder actually from Piglet. I assume that's GA after the BF sword.
Yeah. That being said, though, I mean, Orianna Ball as well does add more both resistances, so every little bit's definitely going to help out. Regardless, this Scalen does a lot of damage with the crit multipliers at this stage in the game.
Not short on damage, especially against these squishies, that is for sure. Got 3 good targets over on the Dig side, as looks like the game is kind of still calmed down. Some days full-time cleaning out super minions in the top wave. He's doing a nice job of that so far, but looks like no need to really force the fight. Doesn't feel like the Baron or the Elder Dragon buff will make too much headway here for Dig, but the important thing is they'll take them away from Liquid and at least delay the game to a point where they're able to keep themselves in it and quite possibly reset it to a spot where one fight will now win them the game.
Exactly. This game was flipped upside down. Team Liquid had the entire map before, but with both of the big neutral objectives, Team Dignitas are also then able to clean up a lot of the turrets and some of that standing gold, so the gold is also a bit closer here. They're still definitely down. And a little bit under pressure here, but as you said, it's so much about the setup for this team fight, and whoever's going to be able to win the next 5-on-5. Team Liquid, a little bit more difficult for themselves now, but they still are in position to take this one. Exposed inhibitors on both side lanes.
Yeah, you can see Dig grouping together, not wanting to eat a pick from either Golden Glue or Reignover, or even some poke from Lolo. Very dark on the map for Dig. Bottom lane is pushing for them, but it's kind of slow going. Somebody goes back, purchases the GA, so it can be even more adventurous with his dives into the back line. If he'd had that before, probably would have won the 1v3.
Yeah. All right, Piglet, though, as we said, still does a lot of damage. We saw the double energized headshot onto Keen there. Took tremendous amount. Log gets knocked over really far by that wall.
Somebody can't get over. Shrimp's already over on the other side. But it looks like they'll just wait it out. Not enough damage to really poke down that inhibitor. Golden Glue is sweeping mid. He actually gets it, forced to flash the arrow, but does do so. But Shrimp's got flash body slam. Yeah, he's going to go for it. Ulti back into the root from Big. And there's the kill actually for the Zyra. Golden Glue a little too far forward.
It is a meaningful pick. You know, a lot of damage was dealt afterwards back to Team Dignitas, but that is going to be enough to relieve their pressure of the siege from Team Liquid. Arrow does get the flash, and as you said, getting a bit worried now.
Yeah, I mean, it's feeling a bit tough.
It's because Team Liquid haven't had success in quite a while, so once you see them have success early on in the game, you're kind of like, oh, the underdogs, yeah, you know, this is some good, you know, improvement for them. But Team Dignitas, and deservedly so, Team Dignitas got back into this game, and they're right pretty much on even footing now. So you have to watch out for the big ultimates. Ash Arrow setting up all these wombo combo of Orianna ultimate, Gragas knocking the Fins down, the Zyra big zone control are things you have to worry about. 5 seconds left on Talia.
Comfortably sieging this turret as well. Shrimp tanking it, but doesn't really matter a lot. Able to take it down. Talia is back. Dignitas going to respect all 5 of Liquid being back up. And don't forget that Dignitas don't have a dragon. Tiago, all 4 of them. Dig just denying the Elder from them was nice, but no like additional boost of stats. I mean, thankfully for Dig, Tiago only have 1 Infernal, but still going to add a lot to their combat power this late into a game.
Oh yeah, the true damage burn is very real with 4 Elemental Drakes. Baron will be coming up first though, so that will be the first neutral objective we go after. No vision really to speak of for Team Dignitas in that area, so Team Liquid still have a bit of positioning advantage. See if they can actually utilize it to get, you know, a Talia wall to split the team up into a good equalizer again. They really have to protect Piglet as well. This is a full item Caitlyn who can put out a tremendous amount of DPS.
Thankfully, Shrimp with no flash, but everyone else on Dig has theirs, so Piglet has to play careful and not get himself caught. I mean, thankfully there's also backup damage, both Golden Glue and Lola, and even Rainover going to be doing a decent amount of damage as well. But we've seen what happens when these fights start, and credit again to Dig for how good their team players look, especially in this game when they've been behind. They won back-to-back team fights that just look stunning, and that doesn't come overnight for a team.
Exactly. Okay, Someday actually gets knocked in here.
Ooh, initiation, kind of. Arrow's going to miss, doesn't hit Golden Glue or Lolo.
One of the big ones down. Here comes the Talia wall.
Cuts them off, but Dig's kind of retreating back. Good flash from Rainover. Log going to get zoned up by the equalizer there as Rainover still taking in. Lolo just jumps in forward, trying to look for Lot, but now has to go zone in Someday, looking for the right angle. Piglets are chunking everybody. Lot moves forward, but it might be too far into a cocoon as Rainover does kill Shrimp. Knock back there for Lotus. He's down as well. And now Piglet flashing forward. It's right this time. There's the triple kill that Piglet was looking for.
And that is going to be finally Team Liquid grinding it out. Going to be able to take game number 2 and push us to another one for the series.
The first one was a mistake. The second one was absolutely correct. It is only Someday to defend this Nexus. The turret is going to fall. Someday charging up his ulti, and Piglet is just going to zone him away. Not nearly enough tank stats to take down this Caitlyn. The Nexus explodes. Piglet, he'll chase down his final kill for the ace. Not going to get it because the GA is there, and Team Liquid will force another game 3.
Get back here, you crocodile! All right, Team Liquid in the end are able to finish up this game. It was definitely close there with a little bit of swing back towards Team Dignitas in the middle, but even up the series 1-1.
Looking good, and Piglet, again, the kind of player that will make or break a lot of your fights. Broke a couple right towards the end, but certainly made the last one count. And TL do come up with the goods. It does feel like, I mean, this is a team that we saw even yesterday when they won their first game, that they took a long time to win that game. They were very safe, very careful. But in this game, despite kind of making some mistakes and fumbling towards the finish line, I think did play with a lot more confidence despite things definitely not being smooth. That's not a word we're using to describe Liquid just yet.
Yeah, Team Dignitas were able to kind of keep cool during this game while Team Liquid were making a lot of good and proactive moves. And that's what we have to highlight. Remember, back to the beginning of the game, right? There were a lot of positives for Team Liquid. And for Team Liquid fans to start to gain hope, I guess, and that's why the mid game was so worrisome.
Well, we'll see if they can make it another one. But we've got our analyst desk standing by to break down this tied up series.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Won the series. Liquid getting their second game win of the split. Grayson, Golden Glue back in the lineup as well, so that confidence building up, and he actually, I thought, played pretty well this game. So Liquid on the up a little bit.
Right, and I think it was a good pick for him to be able to do well in, and the way that they actually did well was very impressive. They actually roamed around the map together, him and Reignover making plays in the bot lane. Whenever the jungler showed in the top side, they got a nice dive off the Caitlyn Karma pressure, which, by the way, that's probably a great lane for Team Liquid. They should run a little bit more because it plays to their strengths. And then they also had to play up on the top side where they dove the Renekton as well, which was great to see. Overall, the draft was pretty nice, stopping the Gragas flex with that Rumble take and with the Renekton as well. So it was good to see all that stuff. And you know, they did take it kind of into the Renekton, which is scary sometimes, but Lorlo showed that he can play the matchup.
Yeah, he did really, really well against an extremely talented top laner in Someday, so props to Lorlo for that one. Let's start going through the replays of this match, of this game, because interesting things happen. Up first, 27 minutes, Liquid getting a 4-0, and we're going to start highlighting Rumble a lot in this series.
Yeah, Rumble was a great pick. A large part of the reason they took the bad matchup was because you knew that they had Ashe, Zyra, as well as Gragas. So there's a lot of immobility in that team comp already, and then once the Orianna is taken into it, it just becomes way too easy to win team fights if you ever get them out of position. They force them into that choke point with their positioning on the left side. They have to kite into the right, and down that pathway, you know, Lorlo drops a great ultimate, basically insta-wins that team fight because some summoners were down, and TL go in for the cleanup kills, Piglet grabbing that triple kill. Good to see.
Yeah, and big shout out to him as well. He Zhonya's the shockwave out of the Orianna, which is a really big deal. I think the repel might have dodged as well, so certainly they did a good job in that clip of playing around Keen's Orianna. However, next replay, the opposite of that.
Yeah, shades of SKT with this play coming back into this game, or trying to. Big goes for a huge flank here, and Team Liquid, for some reason, instead of kiting into the river up into mid lane, they go into this choke point, which leads to a monster Gragas ultimate, into the Zyra ultimate, into the Orianna shockwave with Renekton going in for that cleanup. Like I said, very similar if you watch SKT last split, they had a play like that. Yeah, SKT lost that game and ultimately Dig loses this game, but it was a great attempt at getting back in the game. It almost equalized the gold after they grabbed the Baron and made a couple other turret pushes with it, and it looked terrifying for TL. You heard, you know, Pastry and Kobe like freaking out that once again the game is going to slip away despite how well TL was playing in the early game. Because to be fair, it wasn't like the CLG game where they gave up, you know, these huge mistakes and TL got a lead and then lost it. They were actually playing well in the mid game.
Right, they really were. So finally, one last clip. The ability to win team fights still existed for Liquid. They managed to recoup on this one, and this is the game winner.
Yeah, Lorlo going to come up big again. Nice Talia ultimate to kind of block this escape path, meaning they have to go right if they want to. Reignover goes in to force that fight. The ultimate out of Lorlo, not great, but he's going to be able to flash in here with that wall still available and burn a lot of damage down, as well as dodging out on the shockwave. Just barely mistimed by Keen. Maybe able to win that if they hit it, but the rest of TL is still really, really healthy. Piglet and Golden Glue basically full health, so even though the frontline members start getting low, Piglet's able to flash in and get the rest of those kills, leading them to push down that game. You see that? Yeah. That gold graph.
Ooh, that is a heartbreaker or a heartache of a gold graph. It's like, oh, they almost flatlined back down on that one.
That's like when you drive off the cliff and you think you're gonna die, and then the bungee cord pulls you out of the car, just barely.
Yeah, I mean, really, really butt-clenching stuff right there, but it was close. Shout out Golden Glue, by the way, player of the game for this one. His first one of the year. Probably his first one since player of the game became a thing, to be honest, because I can't think of it existing before. So his very first player of the game. And honestly, I mean, this is a match where it is number 10 versus number 1. Okay, tied for 10th versus tied for first, absolutely. But Dignitas undefeated as a team, including some high-profile wins. Liquid begging for some, and Golden Glue had a good game here against one of the top teams.
Yeah, I think that it was, like you said, the way that he was able to get involved. It wasn't kind of like MV yesterday. We saw a lot of those 2v2 skirmishes go their way, but it was kind of Pyrian or Lyra misplaying around the mid lane. This time, gets out with Reignover. They make the side lane plays, and then he's able to have good ultimates for most of the game. He didn't go flying in and kill himself like he did in the previous game, where he just tried to cut off the Fiora and kind of died right away. So a really nice bounce back game out of Golden Glue for a guy who has, you know, based off the storylines, had a lot of confidence and mental issues.
Absolutely the case. And look, if he's going to get actual to his scrim form and actually becomes, I know I hear what you're saying though. You winced off camera, so I'm like well,
it was more the phrasing of what I said.
Well, but it has been a confidence and a performing on stage issue for him, and the thought was always, can he get back into here? I know Liquid having immense trouble getting a roster together and figuring out who they really wanted to do, right? Piglet went mid, they bought up Doublelift, they like maybe tried for Wild Turtle at some point, didn't get him or anything, and it's like, wow, what roster we put together? And we go back to the 2-8 roster from last split, and now they're actually starting to turn some games around in only week 2. Maybe they do start climbing back up.
This is a team where when you look at the names on it, we've said this a number of times, but they shouldn't be this bad. And it's kind of the case where, yes, there were coaching issues, there were synergy issues, the meta wasn't great, and you put all the guys back together and try it again, there's going to be confidence issues where you probably think, like, can we really do it? I failed with this guy as my teammate before, but if they can start racking up the wins, it does feel like a lot of the problems for this team are based more on their mentality, their confidence, and their synergy, much more than any of these individual players are not capable of playing in the NALCS.
All right, well, we'll see if that can continue then, if they can keep improving and do well for themselves, or if Team Dignitas can actually get themselves that undefeated run through the second week. But now we are going to tie up and wait around as we get ourselves to Game 3. Meet us back here in a few minutes to see if Team Dignitas or Liquid can pick up the match win. See you in 3.5.
We win this, we're gonna eat Korean barbecue happy today. If not, we're gonna be sad.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Golden Glue and Raven actually early visiting the bottom lane. Lord, oh, he gets stunned there. It's going to be the shove and first blood. Deserved over to Golden Glue. Big might even be the next one. Dead. Raven gets it. Repels out of the way.
Try to kill Ash, I'm back. Yeah, I think Talia is dead. Can you push mid? Push him mid, push him mid.
Wards in the meantime.
Yeah, get wards and push mid. Push him mid, push him mid. Push him mid, push him mid. I'm going.
I'm going around the side. I'm going around the side. I have a flank. Ash.
Okay, we're going.
You have Gragas? Ori ball down. Kill Ori. Wait.
Ash dead. Okay.
Ace in the hole takes it down as Piglet grabs himself a double. Might make it a third as Log flushed away as Sunday is trying to salvage a team fight. Log joined off by Golden Glue. He's going to go down, and Sunday does actually shut one down. Trying to make a big run of this play. Not quite there from Shrimp. Huge ultimate as everyone's shot to the outside. Oh my god! Shockwave combos in after the Strugglethons, and Dig almost ace Liquid. It's forward, but it might be too far into a cocoon as Raven does kill Shrimp. Knock back there for Lotus. He's down as well. And now Piglet fighting for it. This time, there's the triple kill that Piglet was looking for.